Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is Michael Mitsuda, and hold on. All right, it's been like 2 months since I've actually been on here. It's super strange. I don't even know where to start making this video, but it's a candid video. I'm not rehearsing or anything. I just decided like I need to just be real and film it as is. So anyway, this video is about transparency, and it's about letting where I've been in the last couple months, and the reason why I'm making this video is to either really um, help people out who are dealing with the same things, or and it's also therapy for me. So here we go. So basically, all my life I've dealt with anxiety and depression, and I'm just gonna stare right here. Okay. All my life I deal with anxiety and depression. Those who know me personally, they know these things, and those who don't probably just see the happy Facebook posts that I always put up online. Which isn't bad, because I think when you're doing happy, or you're happy and having a good time, you need to do that. It's good, it's fun. Like, this is your life, and you want the world to know about it. You want everyone to know how happy you are, and so there's nothing wrong with that. But this video is a little different. It's just basically sharing what was going on with me for the last 2 months, and why I haven't been posting. So I felt like this was the perfect timing to do it. So here it is. So 2 months ago I came off of a antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication. It's called Klonopin, and I was on it for about 7 years, which you shouldn't be on. You shouldn't be on it for 7 years. And I was working with a doctor to come off of it. So started at the school year, beginning of the school year, and I slowly was tapering off of it, and I went from 10 milligrams to zero point 0.5 milligrams. And Klonopin was kind of like helping me to get through the tough times. Sometimes there's situations where you're like, I'm really anxious, and it would really help me to deal with anxiety. It would put a blanket over that fear, and I would just go into situations all crazy and excited. And a lot of people, it kind of made a different personality. Basically, I'm a pretty outgoing person, but it made me overly outgoing, and like Superman outgoing. It was crazy. And so anyway, I finally got down to zero point 0.5 milligrams with this doctor over here about 2 months ago, and then long story short, I came off of it, and she wanted to put me on a different medication to counteract the withdrawals of coming off of it. I'm not sure what the thought process on that was, but I listened to the doctor. And so I went on this thing. It's called venlafaxine, or Effexor, and it basically messed my life up for 2 months straight, and I'm still working on it right now as we speak. I'm trying my best, actually. So what happened was, I started taking this thing called Effexor, and it started messing my vision up, my perception of things. Things were slow motion. Like when you look in the mirror, like I could see my eyes turning left and right. And usually you can't see that. You can only see that on like on a camera phone, or you can't see it in the mirror, but I could see it in the mirror. My perception changed. Kind of like how I describe it is like, back in the day I used to smoke weed and stuff, and when smoking weed, it changes your perception of things, right? And everything's different. You're like, whoa, what the heck? And then you wake up in the morning and everything's back to normal. But basically, it changed my perception. Things were different. I'd go to the gym and it just seemed like a different place, and like I was seeing it for the first time, which was so weird. And my memories were getting weird. My short-term memory was getting off. My long-term memory was getting off. I recall there was a time in the hospital where I was, going to give, because I was doing my clinicals for, my paramedic class, and I'm going to give this patient some medication, and I don't even know how to calculate the dosage, or I don't even know the dosages. I can't remember it, even if I try. And it was very strange. What else happened? Oh, my balance was off. Could like it was my ears just felt like they were constantly like popping, like you know, it's trippy. When people would call me, I didn't know where it was coming from, and it was super weird. And everything was in slow motion. So like someone would say, "Hey, Mike," and then I'd be like, "Hey," you know what I mean? And I'm like, "Smile right now," and then all of a sudden it'd be like, split second later it'd be like, it's so weird. And my reaction time was just off, and it was just so super tiring to even do anything. This medication started making me feel sweaty, more anxious than I already was, headaches, feel like my brain is just uh, tripping, and everything around me was tripping out. Things were just not as they seemed, and so I immediately called the doctor, and I'm like, hey, I need to get off this medication. It's messing me up. But of course, they don't answer the phone. I'm not sure how it works out, but they didn't answer the phone for many days. And then when they get back to you, they get back to you, of course, while you're taking a dump and you can't answer the phone. I mean, yeah, happens, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so they just wouldn't get back to me. I went through all these withdrawals or side effects, and I'm just tripping. Like I'm tripping out. I got to the point where I couldn't even go to work. Like I couldn't even react to people. I couldn't even like interact. So people would talk to me, and I'd just be like, "Whoa, what's happening?" Just really zombified. And so finally, I get a hold of the doctor, and the doctor tells me that, oh, that's just normal side effects, and I'm like, that's shouldn't be normal. So that's why I do not believe in medication anymore. I used to, well, obviously, but now I feel like if unless you got something bad, like really bad, like schizophrenia, or you know something like bipolar, really bad, then talk about it. You got to talk about it with somebody other than take medications, because it just blankets everything. So anyway, I'm on Effexor. My life's just going crazy. I start sharing it with my girl, my girlfriend, and telling her, hey, I don't know what's happening to me. I feel like I'm changing, and she's like agreeing with me. I'm starting to change. And finally, wait, where was it? Oh yeah. So finally, the doctor gets a hold of me and says, hey, I'm gonna put you on this other one to counteract Effexor. Like that'll help you, and it shouldn't cause any problems. And I'm like so desperate that I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. And it's this other medication called a Plensin, which is Wellbutrin, which is it's a stimulant basically. It's for people who can't get out of bed. They're just feeling really depressed, and that wasn't what I was going through. But she put me on this, and it just made me get worse. I started freaking out again. Um, I couldn't even drive to work again. I had to call in sick. I almost lost my job. Almost got dropped out of school, but well, actually, I had to. Well, that's a different story. Just different things happened. My relationship almost fell apart. Basically, everything was just falling apart, and it sucks because 2 months ago I was feeling okay. I was able to I had anxiety, but it wasn't shutting my life down. And then that's what happened. I took this Effexor, and it basically messed me up really bad. So finally, I'm trying to call the doctor again, and of course, they don't answer you. You feel like you're gonna die. You feel like, oh my gosh. So if you're going through this, I totally understand now. If you're suffering through withdrawals or side effects and stuff like that, and everyone's like, you're crazy. You're not crazy. I'm not crazy. I deal with anxiety and depression, but I've never felt like I've been crazy. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. But if you're out there and you're watching this, I understand. Now I understand. I know that when I work in the medical service, I'm really going to have more of an empathy for people who are dealing with side effects of medications, or even taking medications, and dealing with issues in the mental health area. Um, so anyway, I even had to have my mom actually fly over, and she came over, took care of me, and thanks, mom. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna watch this, but Mom was there. My girl was there for me, like always. She's been through hell and back with me. My brother, thanks Sean, for praying for me over there. My brother and his family praying for me constantly, and that's the one thing that never changes. God is always with me, and He has surrounded me with people who love me so much, and it makes me want to cry right now, but I'm not going to. Yeah, so, and along the way, I met a ton of people who have really, um, spoken to my life and stuff, through the withdrawal phase and the, different side effect phase. And ladies, you know who you are if you're watching this. Yeah, there's too many of you to really, yeah, at work, I ran into some really awesome ladies, and they really helped me get through some hard stuff. But anyway, finally I get a hold of my doctor. She takes me. She says, "Hey, you know what? Maybe you should get off all of them." So I'm like, "That's a good idea. It's about time. You seen it my way." So anyway, I was like trying to tell her that I need to get off all this crap, and I finally got off all the crap. And this was about 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I have been completely medication free, and I'll tell you what, it hasn't been great. It's been freaky as hell. Yeah. So basically, without the medication now, I fired that doctor because I was like, dude, how could you like aimlessly just give me this medication and then irresponsibly not answer the phone when, especially like, you can take like a couple, I don't know, it's a whole different subject about doctors and if they're trying to make money off medications or whatever, that's a whole different subject, and I don't really want to hop into that. But uh, yeah, so I fired. I basically stopped seeing that doctor. I'm not gonna say her name or anything because they were really not seeing the best interest for me, and they were seeing. They were, she kept. Uh, Sorry, I just get a little angry when I think about it. But anyway, yeah, so I stopped taking the medications 2 weeks ago. I basically started stopping without asking her. I weaned myself off of it because I was like, she's not gonna tell. And then, sure enough, when I got a hold of her, she told me to get off of it. So basically, it's the same thing. Um, so now, 2 weeks later, I'm going to the gym, and things are getting better. I'm starting to remember stuff again. Things are getting more clear. The day is looking beautiful. Things are changing. I'm starting to. I'm back at work again. Thank God I didn't lose my job. Um, I really fought to keep it. I had to go back in. They told me if I didn't come back on Friday 2 weeks ago, I'll be fired. So I got a doctor's note. But anyway, so yeah, I'm taking it day by day though. So I guess the moral of this story, well, is I'm still dealing with stuff right now. I'm not dealing with anxiety, depression, but I'm dealing with not being able to really be me. So I'll go to the gym and I'm still slower. I don't know if the video can pick it up, or you get people out there watching can pick it up, but I'm slow at my reacting. I'm still, my equilibrium's still off. I'm still like, whoa. I tried squatting, and I basically almost fell over and died. Crazy stuff. My perception's still different. I'm still trying to get back my perception. So if you're watching this and you're dealing with issues with getting your perception back, and your the headaches and all that stuff, it's starting to kind of go down. I still have a major headache right now. It's kind of like my brain is getting squeezed. That's how I explain it. My mouth is kind of numb still, but I can kind of smell. See? Hey, how are you doing? See? So, I mean, before 2 weeks ago, I couldn't even do that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's coming. So, anyway, I'm starting to feel better. Um, I'm starting to, I'm able to work out, which is good. And luckily, I have just awesome people at the gym that really have been just brothers to me, and just like, hey, you're gonna be all right. Some of them are messing with me too. I'm going like slow motion, like, hey Mike, and it's like, whoa, I'm still in slow mo or something. But it gets, I guess, more of the story is it gets better. It does. And even though I'm not feeling, I feel about 70% me right now. And I'm still slow to react. My thoughts are still very jumbled, like together. My memories are starting to come back, which is awesome. Um, I'm starting to remember a little bit more. Like if I think of a dosage of a medication, it's starting to kind of come in there, without me looking at the cards. I'm starting to oh, what's crazy? I lost my sense of smell. So I'm starting to smell again. I'm starting to taste, of course, because it's connected. Um, everything's still slow motion though, like of course when I look in the mirror, it's still like I try to smile and it just doesn't come out as I want to. What else is there? I'm getting the weird equilibrium thing where my hearing is like you know and it's trippy, man. But I'm able to kind of go about my day, which is good. This is a long video, 16 minutes. Sorry about that. hope 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 yeah, anyway. Candid, right? You can watch it if you want. If you don't, then it's all good. Um Things are starting to look more familiar. Like I look outside my house and it's starting to look more familiar. Like this is my house. I mean, it was to the point where I didn't even recognize outside, which is scary. I actually walked to this office over here to get a one of my packages, and I didn't know how to make it back. It's insane, right? So this Effexor medication or whatever the heck it is, I've talked to many people who've been on it, and it just has ruined a lot of people. So stay away from it. Don't just like meth. Don't do Effexor. You know. Um, yeah. So just I guess what I can tell someone who's dealing with these withdrawals and stuff is that you need to have the support system, which is like your family and your friends, tight friends though, tight friends. Oh, Carissa, Carissa, I was gonna specifically name you, Carissa Rice. Thank you for being my buddy and really talking me through at work. And for explaining that I'm not alone in the withdrawal things and tripping out and all that stuff. Love you. What else? Yeah, you need to be around friends. You need to be around family. If you don't got that, then just find some people who are dealing with the same stuff, and you can relate to it because you gotta have support. Because when I was dealing with the withdrawals and stuff, and I felt like I was all alone, I felt like I wanted to die. Basically, I was like, life would be better if I was dead because I sick of waking up dizzy, spinning. I can't even like talk to people because my face won't smile when I want it to. I was freaking out. Um, what else is there? This is a long video. I hope somebody watches the whole thing and just to see if somebody does. But yeah, if this is what you're dealing with, just know that there is a God. That's the main thing that has gotten me through this is like I have a faith in God, and no matter where my perceptions go and where this thing takes me, I know that there is a God and He cares about me and He loves me and He has a purpose. And it's not for me to suffer, but it's for me to find my way back, and find my way back to Mike and find my way back to Him. The thing is, He has His hand on you, whether you believe it or not, which is crazy. I mean, how good is a God who can do that, right? Um, just try to have faith. It's easy to say, hard to do. Just have faith, trust that He's there and He has a plan for you. And even when you're down and your face in the pillows or on the ground and you feel like just dying, because I was there 2 weeks ago, literally wanted to die, and He was still there for me, and luckily I have family that really cares about me. And you're not crazy. That's the thing. Remember this. You are not crazy. You just deal with something that not everyone does. So dig down deep, and look me up on Facebook if you can. I'm always ready to talk. So this is Mike Mitsuda. 2 weeks into not having no medication or having medication or see what I'm saying? Slow mind. uh, 2 weeks of not having medication in my system, and about 70% myself again. And I'll in about a few days I'll make another video probably of my progress. Okay. Take care. God bless everybody.